WWE Summerslam 2025, the first ever two-night SummerSlam event is just days away. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the prediction show. It's your girl, Denise Salcedo, and I am reunited once again with the dirt sheet boy, Sean Ross Sapp. What's up, Sean?
It's me. Great to see you. I'll see you in what, 2 days? A day and a half, basically.
This is hilarious because you're all the way down there and I'm all the way up here. I feel like I could pat your head like a little ducky.
Well, that's just not going to happen to me. I got to look at my Christina Applegate shirt.
Hey, that's a good shirt. I like that shirt.
Like it.
Are you still doing your little thrift store shopping that you normally do to get these shirts?
So this is like a screen printed shirt, but yes, I am. But Kathy Kelly complimented me on this shirt. I feel like I got a thrift shirt the other day. Not thrift. You can't thrift shirts like that anymore because everybody goes and buys them and then resells them to vintage stores now. So like now Kentucky is kind of caught up on that. So you can't do that anymore. You can't just go to Goodwill and find like a 1992 Charlotte Hornets shirt. You got to go to like Gray Line Station or somewhere like that.
Oh man. Okay. Well, thank you for the thrift store scoops, by the way. I appreciate that.
There you go. I bought a Taz shirt from a thrift store or from a
Taz
store.
Shirt?
Yeah. And I sent it to him and I was like, is this legit? And he's like, hey, show me the tag inside of it. And I did. And he's like, yeah, not only is that real, I designed that shirt.
What? And somehow it ended up in a thrift store and you got it. That's super random. Yep. Wow. Okay. What happened to your seat, Sean?
I'm scooting back down.
It looks like you're in an elevator right now.
I am. I've got a standing desk.
Okay, because it literally looks like we're seeing you rise floors right now. Oh, this is funny. All right. Well, anyway, so we are a couple days away from SummerSlam, and Sean, you and I will both be there. How are you looking forward, like heading into this big show? Like, what's your excitement levels, I guess?
I'm always excited for wrestling in general, just because I like wrestling, watching wrestling, covering wrestling. Oh yeah, that's me. But I mean, the card is very lopsided. Night 2 looks way better than night 1. I'm looking at things and saying, okay, well, I wonder what's going to be on SmackDown and Raw now, because usually WWE's method is they've got 5-6 matches on a PLE, and as a result, they can load up SmackDown and Raw surrounding those shows. But now they've got 12, 13 matches to do, which used to be fairly common for them. But now with the modern day booking, it's a little bit different. A couple things that benefit them. SmackDown's only 2 hours. They do have some things that can fit outside of what we see on SummerSlam. Like the women's US title doesn't have anything going on. I'm interested to see how they do the TV around it, basically.
Yeah, so here's the question that I have, because I feel like coming off of WrestleMania, everybody was kind of talking about how WrestleMania really wasn't that great, right? And since this is the first two-night SummerSlam, it got me thinking, like, do you think that SummerSlam this year has the potential to outdo WrestleMania? Because part of me feels like it might. I think it has the potential. I know you mentioned you kind of felt like the nights were a little lopsided in terms of interest, but I think they have at least, 5 or 6 matches that could be like that WrestleMania caliber type of work rate for the show.
I don't think it will pass WrestleMania. I do think that there are certain elements of night 2 that could make WrestleMania or could live up to a certain thing, and they have to. It's a 2-night thing, and it's what they're doing moving forward. I think they have to do something this weekend that shows people, yeah, you do want to come to these 2-night things, even if it's not WrestleMania. So I think that that's probably what's going to happen. I mean, TLC is going to be good. I want to know what's next for Cody Cena already, even before the match happened. I want to know what's going to happen with Seth this weekend. Is he going to come back? They could make it like mini WrestleMania, and I think they should.
Okay, well, you mentioned Seth Rollins, and that's interesting that you said that you're curious to see if he's going to come back. You are Mr. Scoops, by the way. So what side are you leaning on in terms of Seth? Is this a work? Is this legit? Is there a little bit of both? Where do you lean?
I am leaning towards I'm leaning towards he had a little bit of an issue, but I personally, and this isn't a report, I think it's a bit of a work. I think that's what they're leaning into. Hope it is.
I kind of, well, it's hard, right? Because you never want to hope that anyone is injured. So I do hope it is a work, right? And even though it feels a little bit like random to do this, there's a lot of people that are speculating, hey, we're going to have Gunther versus CM Punk. So there is a world where CM Punk wins and then Seth Rollins comes in and
sure,
he has the Money in the Bank briefcase and he can cash in, right? So it is possible that they did this in order to accomplish that.
So, like, part of me wonders, because there's a lot of things sort of moving in unison here, that would make sense. And he could do that with either person. Rollins could. But they just did a thing last month where Naomi came in and made it a triple threat match and won as well. So you had that fresh in people's memories. However, he has been so adamant, he being Rollins, that CM Punk will not become world champion again, that I'm like, I don't know if it is as effective if Punk wins the title and then he gets cashed in on. Like, does that take any of it away from you, considering that that's been his main motivation, is you will never be champion again, as opposed to you'll be champion, but maybe for like 30 seconds.
I think it would 100% make me so mad. And if that's what they clearly want to accomplish and Seth Rollins is a heel, that would be phenomenal heat, right? I know for me,
Yes.
I would be livid, right? Because I want to see CM Punk as world heavyweight champion. And look, I'm kind of over already the story between Seth Rollins and CM Punk, and it's gone on so long. And I thought it was over months ago, and then they resurfaced with it again, and then I thought it was over again, and they resurfaced it again. So I think for me, I'm trying to accept the fact that it may never be over, and we're just gonna keep seeing it forever. But I would eventually like to move on from this. And here's the other thing, and this is why I'm kind of like, oh damn, because Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed looked phenomenal at the ending of this past Monday Night Raw. And I thought this is the best they've looked. Why? Because Seth wasn't there sort of hogging up the spotlight. So I don't know. I was all sorts of conflicted here. All right, we got, sorry, Sean, did you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
No. All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank Sheldon Jackson, by the way, for gifting a DWO membership. Now is the time to be a member. I did go ahead and drop a brand new exclusive members only video. Since we're in the road we're practically just days away from SummerSlam, I uploaded a video covering my top 10 favorite SummerSlam matches. You can watch that up there right now. We got Eric Miller. Eric, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, we at the UK branch of the DWO, thank you for this earlier stream. Top last, Denise. I thank you, Eric. We don't often do early streams here on the show. It's usually a nighttime thing. So this was all Sean, by the way, because Sean had like 50,000 things going on today and kept rescheduling. Thank you, Eric.
I mean, listen, I forgot when my own show was. I'll say that.
Literally.
I forgot when my own show was.
Also, shout out to those in the UK, by the way. We got Tracy WV88 here who says, don't forget our bets, Denise. You can make $150 or pay up your part on Monday Night Raw. If Seth cashes in, $100 will calm your anger and make me happy. So, Sean, the other day when we had the match between Seth Rollins and LA Knight, the one where he got injured, Tracy is a really big Seth Rollins fan. And I kept saying, like, Seth Rollins is going to win. LA Knight's not going to win. Come on. And then I think we made a joke like, oh, if LA Knight wins, Tracy said, like, I will pay you $50, right? LA Knight wins this match, and Tracy, a woman of her word, did pay up. So we got another bet going. And if I lose, by the way, like I have to be like saying yeet or something like after every single I forgot like a bunch of times on the show. Tracy, we'll discuss the details because I'm blanking on them right now. But yeah, very cool stuff. Thank you, Tracy. We got Maddie Mania here who says, do y'all think there's a chance Liv makes an appearance at SummerSlam? Sean, I'm going to let you take this one, but I'm just going to go out and say I don't think so, right?
I don't think so. So we are in this era, and it's funny because WWE Unreal released this week, and Seth Rollins, a lot of people are like, oh my God, is it a work? Is it a shoot? Like, what's going on? Is there both? John Cena in 2008 was a good example of this. They just didn't tell anybody his injury wasn't as bad as what they thought it was, and he returned at the Royal Rumble, and it's an all-time great moment. There's always a possibility that Liv Morgan's injury isn't as bad as indicated. I just haven't heard anything that leads us to believe such a thing. That being said, who's to say that she couldn't pop up and start doing stuff on screen without wrestling? What WWE tries to stay away from is stuff like that, because then their contract time starts ticking again and they can't freeze the deal. I don't think that she will, but I'm not going to say it's impossible, because like I think she's on the mend now.
Right. I mean, like you said, she could do something where she just comes out, maybe cuts a promo or says something. I don't know. But I feel like they don't really do that often with people that are injured. I mean, you saw it a little bit with Dakota Kai, like she was still there while she was injured. You know, you do see it, but it feels a little bit more rare. And I wonder if instead they much rather wait for her to fully get healed, so that when she does come back, you do get this massive reaction of, hey, you know, this person that we've missed for such a long time comes back and they get a pop and all of that. Thank you so much, Maddie. We got Mr. Diamond Money 27 here, who says, what's up, Denise and Sean? How are y'all doing? Sean, I know you don't like to travel. And so heading into New York, how are you feeling about the travel bit of it?
I get travel anxiety really badly. I have literally, right before we were on this stream, I moved my flight back a few hours and to a different city. So I just ate the cost of that.
I was thinking of doing that, Sean, but I decided not to, because it would be $500 to change my flight. That's not even, I paid like $700 for the whole entire thing, which included hotel and to and from, you know? So paying an additional $500 does not seem like a good idea.
Man. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not going to make that money back on this trip, but
No.
I just gotta, I have to do the right thing for me, and flying into LaGuardia and taking a series of Ubers to get to the place where I'm staying, which I told you where it was, like an hour away, not a good idea. So I'm flying into Newark now.
Yeah, there's just a lot on that end. But thank you so much to Mr. Diamond Money for asking. And I'm excited. I got a lot to do right before the trip still. We got Bob Ross Jr. here, who says, don't worry, guys. The most important chatter is here. What's up, Bob? Thank you so much for tuning in, dude. Hope you're having a good week. We got IGN Sucho here, who says, is there anyone this weekend you think is a must win? For me, it's Karrion Kross and maybe Braun and Bronson. This is a great question, actually. Sean, is there someone, or do you agree or disagree with what IGN Sucho just said here? I think Karrion Kross is an interesting one. Honestly.
I don't think that he's a must win. So we had a report on Fightful Select indicating that he at least told people that asked him last week that he hadn't been approached for a new contract. I honestly think that they'll probably approach him and lowball him, or he has been re-signed and is just not telling anybody, which is very smart for his buzz. I love Karrion Kross more than a lot of other people do, because I like the MMA Foundation and all that. I like the character stuff. I think that right now he is a perfect supporting character, especially for the road for Sami Zayn to become world champion. You see people like Chelsea Green who say, I'm good with being the comic relief. I can help that. Karrion Kross has physically imposing features that can make him a threat to anybody, but he has really found his role as being like the devil on everybody's shoulder. And it's helped accentuate an awful lot of characters on the main roster. And if he's okay with doing that and okay with being that, I think that goes a long way. So I don't think that it's must win for him. I think that for Sammy, it's important for his journey up the card. He's not going to get a world title match from beating Karrion Kross, but he can at least continue on his journey. Braun and Bronson, I don't know if that is a must win, but I would consider having them win that match, because if you want to establish them as a major force, well, then they should beat the guy who shows up once every 3 months, gets speared through a barricade, and then taken off TV for 2 months. I think Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed, one of them, should pin Roman Reigns. Personally, that's how I feel.
should be Braun Breaker, especially if that's what we're working towards, which is what
Yeah.
everybody wants. Let's be real. That's what we want to see, Braun and Roman. But given, you know how sometimes obviously WWE does this thing where they give people the leg up the week before because you know they're losing the following week. So I'm wondering if they did that already. Like, here's your leg up. You, Bronson Reed, you get to take Roman Reigns' shoes. But hey, buddy, you're losing at SummerSlam in this matchup. So, I mean, I don't know. My picks for people who I think must win. Again, I don't have anybody that's like, oh my God, this is do or die if they don't win this matchup, right? But I wouldn't mind, again, if Braun and Bronson took that W. I agree. I think the other one is strangely Dominic Mysterio, Sean. Dominic Mysterio is defending his Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles. I actually want Dominic Mysterio to get this win here because I want them to kind of do a little bit more with his Intercontinental Championship reign. I think we were at such a high when he won at WrestleMania. And since then, there really hasn't been that much buzz. I mean, sure, the story has been cute and all between him and AJ and Dominic, but that's really it, though. So I would probably say, just to give an answer, it would be Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, and I want to see Dominic go babyface so bad. I've wanted to see it for a long time. And
are you surprised that they took so long, that they didn't do it following WrestleMania?
yes, I am. And I wonder if Liv's injury caused that.
Right, that is true. Yep, that's true. Thank you so much, Suchu. Also, thank you so much to Papa Squirrel, who just became a brand new DWO member. Welcome. All right, so I want to go ahead and dive into the major matches from each card because we do got a few. But before we get to that, we do got Corey MacArthur, our most stylish member of the DWO, says, "What's up, Denise? Loving the hair. And what's up, Sean, our fightful leader? Happy SummerSlam week. Are you ready?" So with that, night one, we got a lot of really big matches. We got the Tiffany versus Jade match, Randy and Jelly Roll versus Drew and Logan, Gunther versus CM Punk. We got the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte and Alexa, Roman and Jey versus Braun and Bronson, Sammy versus Karrion Kross. Looking at this night one card, what are your top three matches, Sean, on that specific night?
Top three matches of night one. That's like half the card.
Yes, you gotta pick. You gotta pick. That's how I'm running with this show. That's our format for today.
Okay, God.
give me work from God. 3, 2, and 1. 3, 2, and 1. Come on. That's how we're gonna run this shit today.
Okay, 3, 2, and 1.
Yes.
Number night 3. One. I'm gonna say, oh God, that card isn't great.
Well, I don't think it's that bad. I could do a 3, 2, 1, Sean.
I am going to say Roman and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed because I know what this match is going to be. It's going to be a bunch of spears and going through stuff. 2 is Judgment Day versus Charlotte and Alexa because despite the fact that I am rumored to hate Charlotte Flair personally and only post things to encourage hate towards her, I am fascinated by this tag team. I think that this tag team has given her a new lease on life. It has shown from the character standpoint, a character who has only cared about individual accolades and achievements. Like she did that spot where she saved Alexa and she like held on to her. That spot was brilliant, whoever produced that. And I'm interested in this. But what I want to happen, I'll save that for later when the official predictions happen. I'm just excited for that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right. I think that Charlotte and Alexa have just been this. I think the tag team you never knew you wanted. And, Charlotte, she was just getting so much heat, man. Like so much heat. And it just completely turned around with her partnership with Alexa. And I love it. I love to see it. I love the fact that they can go out there and they can be such opposite people. And they both complement each other very well. I want this to keep going. Like, let's stretch this out. We don't have very many female tag teams, so let's please keep this going for a while. Like, I'm not in a rush to see anyone turn on anybody. Please milk it. That's where I'm at. And so your number one pick, though, Sean, for night
Gunther
one.
and Punk.
All right, so let's talk about this one. I want to spend a little time on Gunther and Punk because Their feud has not been now. Okay, so if you watch WWE Unreal, you saw that this was a WrestleMania match that was supposed to happen, one of the main events for that show. Obviously, they went in a different direction. We also saw that CM Punk was the pick to win the Royal Rumble from the majority of the writers, at least from what they showed there. So a lot of changes, a lot of different things. This was a match that was meant to happen. Sean, given that this was supposed to be a WrestleMania main event and it ended up going to SummerSlam, are you surprised by how little sizzle this feud has actually had?
Yeah. It's one of those where you're just pumped for the match type of thing. And like, I think that Gunther exudes champion so much. And with Punk, I'm like, is this run going to be a constant hill for him to climb? And then playing off of, kind of like the new kayfabe. How much of this is real? How much of this isn't? How much are they making him prove that he really wants to be world champion type of thing? I think they're relying on that an awful lot.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm a little disappointed because you got to understand, like, for a lot of people, like, I'm a massive CM Punk fan, right? And so this is huge. Like, this to me should be pushed even further. Like, I feel that they should acknowledge the fact that, hey, man, like, when's the last time we saw CM Punk hold a world championship in WWE? Like, this to me is such a big deal. I mean, the fact that he came back, that's one thing, right? But the fact that he's now also possibly going to be a champion, I felt like they should have milked that up a lot more. And I also wish that we had more of a fight between Gunther and CM Punk. Like, I don't even think I even recall them like fighting much even before this matchup. So I kind of feel like they took the slow lane with building this match with Gunther and CM Punk.
Yeah, and with Punk, it's right after he had a world title match against Cena as well. So it's not he had and then he had the gauntlet match, which Braun worked all the gauntlet match, and then Punk rolled in and got it, which I think is okay because Braun is the young big dude and Punk is the older crafty veteran. I think that had a lot to do with probably some of that luster being lost in the build, so to speak. But I am excited for the match in general.
Yeah, I'm excited for the matchup too, because again, I'm curious to see whether or not we're actually going to see CM Punk walk out champion. And I say that because, again, we don't know if Seth Rollins is going to cash in or not. Welcome to Mike443, who also just became a brand new DWO member. Welcome to the family. All right, we got night 2. I want to get into our top 3 picks for night 2. You said this card, this night looked a lot better. So what are your top 3 picks?
What, for night 2?
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. As I'm looking, Cena, Cody Rhodes
At number 3?
at number 3.
Okay.
Because I've seen the match. I'm more interested in what happens after the match.
You mean
Number
you're
2,
you're not absolutely craving a Travis Scott run-in, by the way? Or I should
I'm
say
not.
slow walk-in?
I'm not. I did one of like the imitation, like walking down the street with the roller bags intros a while back. I'm gonna do another one for an intro for my show, but it's gonna be me walking for 4 minutes in a row to Fiend.
Oh, hell
But
no, bro.
number 2 is TLC because, like, as a kid, like my first favorite match of all time was TLC. It was so good, and you just know it's gonna be a stunt show, and I'm okay with that. There's like 400 people in the match. Number 1 is Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, because the WrestleMania match was one of the best matches ever with Bianca Belair in it. And I'm interested in how that dynamic adjusts with Naomi, who is leans definitely more into the on-screen persona than like, in-ring performer like Bianca, but Naomi's been doing the best work of her career. So that's what I'm most excited for.
I agree with your list. However, number 3, I have to, yeah, you know what? Even though I do think that Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria will have the better wrestling match, it's the outcome of John Cena and Cody Rhodes. It's the aftermath that has people talking or wondering what's going to
Mhm.
happen. So I'm going to ask you the most annoying question ever, Sean, but you got to
Okay.
answer. Yes or no, The Rock comes out?
I'm going to say no.
Do you think people are going to be expecting it?
I think that they'll talk each other into anything, but no, I don't think people will be expecting it.
Okay, so we're not expecting The Rock and don't think The Rock is coming out. So at this point, The Rock is, should we just say he's like not even part of this story anymore?
Yeah, I think he pieced out after Elimination Chamber and left him high and dry. Like
Is that
again,
why he did
hunch,
this?
not a hunt. Yeah,
Maybe it was
hunch, not a
peace.
report. I mean, Denise, I was kind of dreading that show because I was like, are they going to lie about stuff? And they didn't really lie about stuff on the show, but they didn't cover The Rock just calling up Cena and Cody and being like, my work here is done. When like, no, it's not done. There was so much more. It left a huge plot hole.
I think that WWE promoted it like they were going to air all of their. I mean, you knew, okay, look, common sense says they're not going to air their dirty laundry. They may have promoted it that way, but that is how all shows are promoted, right? They're promoted like, oh my God, the most scandalous thing you can ever think of is going to happen here so that you can get clicks and review, all of that, right?
Yep.
So do you think Unreal was worth tuning into? Like, what kind of a fan do you think that this was for? But did you get what you were looking for?
I enjoyed it. I did. I did a full show on it today with Jimmy, but like I mean, I did also a full report on Fightful Select, and that was the report that got everybody up in arms. Was I said that they asked the women to come out and cheer for Charlotte for a camera shot for this. There were some things like that were like minor manufactured, but like if you watch the trailer, you would think that they were going to treat the iShow speed spot as real, but they didn't.
Yes.
They gave you the behind the scenes of it and all that. I thought it was a pretty honest, candid look at that. And as somebody who reports so much of the stuff that happens from guerrilla position, it's interesting to have like a visual thing of seeing. It's one thing if I hear that, man, Abyss was freaking out because Rollins and Punk went overtime. What does that look like, right? And then we see what it actually looks like, and it's like, no, he really was. He was freaking out over it. He felt terrible about it. That I thought was a fascinating look. I love stuff like that, though. I like to learn everything I can about wrestling and then try to relay it to a broader audience.
Yeah, I think that well, I always wondered that, right? Like, okay, so your report on Charlotte Flair, where you said that people were asked to go out there and, clap and whatnot. Well, I mean, when it comes to like gorilla position and all of that, I mean, if someone's watching a match, it's like, okay, fine, maybe you all go there. But for the most part, it's not like everyone's hanging out there. So wouldn't you have to be told, like, hey, make sure you're out there, after this match? Doesn't that just seem like I don't know. I'm not really sure how to word that, but it feels like just a general, hey, make sure you're out there sort of deal.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was because people were like,
instead of you must be out there.
yeah, I mean, in the report, it said people weren't forced to be out there, but like there were 30 people in a match, many of them for 20, 30 minutes. Maybe they wouldn't have been out there if they weren't instructed to, but it was just a thing they were asked to. Nobody came to me and was like, we hate Charlotte so much and we were forced to be out there. I wasn't told that. I was just like, hey guys, here's some of the things that were manufactured. Here's some of the things that people suspected were manufactured, like the Tiffany Charlotte thing.
I suspected that too, because who says they can reenact this stuff after it happened and been like, WWE could easily be like, oh my God, this got so much buzz on the internet. We should reenact this so that we can, get some more clicks for Unreal.
And I had people saying, oh, well, what's the big deal with that? Don't they have bullet points? No, they don't have bullet points. Everybody is very firmly scripted. And I mean like word for word. Like, for example, Paul Heyman and CM Punk, people who, if you ask an average wrestling fan, might think they have bullet points. Their promos on Raw were completely scripted. I saw the script. It was verbatim what they said. So if they deviate from that, obviously there's going to be some concern there. But of course, there were some natural questions from the women's roster. Like, okay, did they like plan to go off script for the Netflix series, or was that a legitimate thing? Because the people that I was talking to within wrestling at that point were like, Charlotte and Tiffany are pros. They'll be fine. They'll work together. They'll have a hard hitting match. That's it.
Have you heard about them doing like a season 2 at all? Or is that out there already?
I would be shocked if they don't. but I haven't heard as of yet. Somebody said that there was something after the credits that indicated that, but like
I didn't play for the whole credits tour. I was like, oh, show's over. Bye. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do a speed round here of winner predictions. And if you have any chaotic predictions for any of these matches, you can throw it in there, Sean. But let's get to it. I'm going to kick things off in just the order that good old Wikipedia has this stuff in. So WWE Women's Championship Night 1, Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. Does Tiffany retain or not?
I'm going to say yes. If Naomi hadn't cashed in, I would think that Jade would win and then Naomi would cash in. But I think that Tiffany should retain.
All right. I think I'm a little bit torn here. No, you know what? No, I'm not. I think Tiffany Stratton should retain. I love Jade Cargill, but I think there's still a little bit more growth there that needs to happen before she becomes WWE Women's Champion. All right. So I'm with you with Tiffany Stratton. Next up, Randy Orton and good old Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Sean, I just know this is the match you're most looking forward to.
I did like Jelly Roll's Big Boss Man Slam. That was pretty cool last week. But I think that Jelly Roll is going to win this. They love to make it look like celebrities can beat up all their pro wrestlers.
Yeah, but those pro wrestlers on the other side are Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. I mean, as much as people hate Logan Paul, he's not horrible in the ring. But also, Drew McIntyre, bro. Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They're going to want Jelly Roll on the... They want Pop... This is what they want, Sean. They want freaking Pop Crave and Pop Bass to be like, Jelly Roll has won a WWE match by defeating Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre along with Randy Orton. That's what they want. All right. Next up. For the World's Heavyweight Championship, Gunther versus CM Punk. Official prediction for the win and the aftermath.
I am going to predict that Rollins cashes in before and takes the win. But if I had to pick between these two, I think I'm going to go with Punk. And the Unreal series showed us that they seem to be good friends.
Yeah. Oh, what did he say? His honest European. He said something else. His brutally honest European friend, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go the boring route because I think the boring route is what I want. CM Punk wins World Heavyweight Championship and then walks out nicely and gingerly holding the title. I'm gonna go with nothing with Seth Rollins. All right.
Sure.
Let's go with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the champs, defending against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. What do you got?
I think it's going to be Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, but what I would like to see is Judgment Day win, and then on SmackDown, Alexa Bliss just assumes the team is over because she doesn't think Charlotte likes her, and she's like, well, thank you for entertaining this. I guess we'll see each other around. And Charlotte's like, no, we're going to win these tag titles. That's what this is all about. Let's go do this. I think that would be really, really important for like the growth of that character, and it would show a lot. But it's WWE and it's the women's tag division, so they'll probably just immediately put the titles on them.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I pretty much expect the exact same thing. All right, we got the tag team titles. The tag team match, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Earlier, we had someone that said that they felt that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed must win this match. But then on the other hand, you got two massive stars in both Roman and Jey. So, Sean, official prediction.
My official prediction is Roman and Jey. I think it should be Braun and Bronson, though, but I think it'll be Roman and Jey.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and just so that I can be different, I'm going to go with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed for the hell of it. Let's effing go. I'm going for these guys. They're my faves. Let's rock with it. All right, we got the match between Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Another match that someone also thought that should have been a must-win for Karrion Kross. However, if we want Sami Zayn to eventually get back to that World Heavyweight Championship picture, he's also someone who needs this victory as well. So who's your official pick?
Yeah, I've got Sami Zayn ascending. Like, I think there's a real chance that he has some adversity throughout this fall, maybe, but I could see him winning the Royal Rumble in Saudi, competing at WrestleMania, and winning a world title at WrestleMania. Against who, I don't know, but I could see that happening. And I think that Kross motivating him by planting that doubt in his head is a big way to do that. But I think that Sami Zayn wins this.
Oh man, I'm with Karrion Kross does need this. He really, really does. But I think that they have more long-term plans, I would imagine so, for Sami Zayn. So even though I do think it's far more likely for Sami to win this match, I'll just try to go. I'm going to go a different direction, and I'm going to go with Karrion Kross just to see what else we can get from this. All right, but before we get to night 2 predictions, we do got Bob Ross Jr. here, who says, is it true that there's going to be a SummerSlam set? I'm asking because I saw videos on TikTok and Twitter of a site that claims to be built for SummerSlam. Sean, do you know about this?
I do know about this. I just got a picture in my inbox 5 minutes ago.
Okay, well,
right now they have basically a canopy set up where the ring is going to be with the trusses and all that. And they are setting up like, it's not going to be like a crazy WrestleMania style stage, but they do have some sort of set that they're planning.
Ooh, okay. All right. So something to get to look forward to, everyone.
They are erecting something. And if you want to trust one person about things that are being erected, it's me.
No, it's me. I'm the queen.
It's me.
Okay. I'm the queen of erections.
Whoa.
I'm just saying. Saying. Me, queen. All right. We got, thanks, Bob. We got Mike443 here who says, hello, guys. My question is, how would you book the women's U.S. title so it gets just as much credibility as the Intercontinental is doing right now? Simple. Damn, put matches on for Julia. I feel bad that I had to take a second to even think about who is the U.S. champion right now. Better matches. Give her a story. Give her some time to talk. And for the love of God, stop running it back with Zelina. Like, they got to switch it up and get some other people in there. That's just my opinion. What about you, Sean?
I mean, they've done a wonderful job with the IC title, but it probably took a lot of Becky Lynch making sure that they did to do that. But I think that that's been really good. My big concern with so much of this and them doing 2 of these titles was, will they really do anything with the undercard? And no, you've got tons of people that aren't on the show. Or like when Zelina wins the title, she hadn't won matches in months and months before. I really think that they should have given that a lot more care, especially when you see how much it mattered to Chelsea Green to win that on Unreal. It's very frustrating, and they have plenty of time. Make use of main event or something. Say Ivy Nile won on main event. That puts her in line for whatever. Just use it. Do something.
I'm with you. Thank you, Mike. All right, we got PP Songs Form. What's up, dude? Thank you so much for the love. Says, it's set up for people to expect Seth to cash in on night 1, but he'll cash in on Cody night 2. Same thing they did with Naomi cashing in on the other champ. He's not wrong here. How likely do you think that that's a legitimate possibility to kind of swerve people? Triple H did say, by the way, in that Unreal thing, he had a quote where he said, once it becomes predictable, you got to change it or something like that.
Yeah. I think it's a real possibility, especially in light of that. And you know what they'll say? They'll be like, oh, well, the internet said that Seth was hurt, and the internet said that he was going to cash in on Rollins or Punk. No, he said that. He said that. So I think it's a real possibility.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? People are expecting for something to happen in that matchup. So there it is. It could happen. We'll see what happens. Thank you, PP Songs, for me. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the speed round for the night 2 matches for SummerSlam. Let's kick it off with the TLC match. Do you see the champs, the Wyatt Six, successfully retaining, or is there a team that you think will win? Another team.
I do, because there's like 100 Wyatts, and I think they'll all get involved. So I think the Wyatts will win.
See, I know it's like, what is this, their first defense or is their second defense? No, second defense. Yeah, I think this is their second defense. Yeah, second. I know it's too early. I know it would be kind of sucky for them to lose in their second defense, but you cannot tease me with Andrade and Rey Fenix becoming tag team champions and for me not to
Yes.
root for them. So I'm going on a selfish pick here and I'm going with Andrade and Rey Fenix just because that's what I want. It's what I want, damn
Yeah.
it. All right. Intercontinental Championship match. Dominic Mysterio, AJ Styles. This is the one that I said that I think Dominic should retain just to keep that thing going. But I do also think I might be wrong.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see Dominic beat AJ Styles clean as a sheet, completely clean. And then AJ Styles shakes his hand and Dominic's like shocked about it. And then like the next day on Raw or whatever it is, you see AJ being like, that's what means something, not what these guys are having you do. Like have him teach him some respect. And then Dominic's like, yeah, okay, maybe he's right. And then I want him to do a babyface run stealing Eddie Guerrero's gimmick because he's the only person that can get away with it. He's the one.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, there you have it. So then your official pick is Dominic then. Okay, cool. We're
Dominic,
on board
yes,
with that
I want
one.
Dominic to win.
I keep forgetting this match is a steel cage, by the way. Steel cage match for the United States Championship. Solo Sikoa defending against Jacob Fatu. I got to go with Jacob Fatu, bro. I was mad when they took the title off of him. So get that title back on Fatu. Sean, what do you think?
I do too. I will say that Solo Sikoa has done a great job showing his personality more. I wouldn't be surprised if Jacob couldn't overcome it and then they just strap a rocket to him and put him towards the main event. But I'm probably just going to go with Jacob Fatu here. That's the way I'm feeling.
All right, I'm with you. We have the no DQ match, no count out, last chance match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental title. And if Becky Lynch wins, Lyra can no longer challenge for the championship as long as Becky is champ. And that is Becky versus Lyra. And I think this is their third, fourth singles match. I think at this point I lost count already, if you include the NXT stuff as well. So these two girls know each other very well. So 2 questions here for you, Sean. Who wins? And then also, does Bayley play a role in this somehow?
I wanted to see her like ref it, but I guess after you had Bianca just ref the Naomi Jade match, you can't do that right back to back. But I'm going to go with Lyra because I think the whole point of this has to be to put over Lyra. And I think she's done a really good job keeping pace with Bayley and Becky and doing that. There have been some promo hiccups and stuff, but in the ring, she's phenomenal. I do think that Bayley gets involved to some capacity, and we go to the Bayley Becky singles after that.
So were you a fan of the Becky Stompers?
Yeah, they were fine. That promo wasn't great, but yeah.
People were asking me, by the way, if I had Sean Ross Sapp Stompers. I was literally getting tagged in those type of tweets on Twitter. And I thought, hey, I'm going to get myself some SRS Stompers. Bam. All right.
Why would you do that to me?
What do you mean? Why would I do that to you? I eliminated
shoes
your
I got
ass.
for media day. Wait till you see the shoes I bought.
Why am I going to be interested in your shoes?
They're nice shoes.
Are they the SRS ones?
Nope. I haven't worn those in a while. But I spent some good money on some shoes for this just to match my shirt. What are they, like
honestly. Louis Vuitton shoes or something?
They're comparable in price.
All right. Sean's going to be out there with fancy shoes, so jack him. How sad.
Whoa.
You're going to be like Roman Reigns on
Denise,
the floor without your shoes.
Chill, Denise.
You don't tell people you got nice shoes and then expect no one to be like, hey, yo, I'm gonna jack this guy's shoes. If you wear fancy shoes out here in LA and you go to like a sketchy area, your ass is coming home in your socks, bro.
Damn. I'm trying to get jacked out here.
Okay, I will say this though, Sean. If I see you on the street getting jacked, do not expect me to help. I'm just gonna point and laugh.
I don't expect you to help. At any point, ever. I don't expect you to ever see me getting jacked. To begin helping.
Well, if I saw you on the streets, I'd totally jack you. I'd be like, that guy's easily jackable. Because you don't walk with with a menacing look, Sean. You got to walk with a mug. You got to walk mean, you know? Have a little fist going when you're walking down the streets so that no one messes with you.
What have you done? What have you done?
Oh man. All right, what match was that? Oh, I didn't give my Becky Lynch Lyra pick. I'll go with Lyra Valkyria as well. There's got to be some sort of explosion kind of moment, so I'll go with Lyra. All right, we got 2 more matches. Let's get to it. Women's World Championship, Naomi, Rhea, Io. Mind you that the person who wins this match goes on to face Stephanie over at Clash in Paris. So who do you got?
Oh gosh. Well, my question is, like, I want to know from you, first off, do you think this is just a placeholder for Stephanie to win the title?
So you're saying keep it on Naomi because that might be the... See, here's the thing. I'm more thinking of...
I think Naomi will win. It's too early.
Right.
She's on a hot run and all that stuff. I think it's good to give her the title, but I do think that whoever wins this probably loses to Stephanie.
So Naomi, so you think they'll do Naomi and
I think they'll have Naomi win. I think
and then when do they do? Because some people are thinking like, okay, then what about when they do Crown Jewel? That's when they finally decide to do Rhea and Stephanie.
Yeah, because I think it's the best way to go. Because I feel like Naomi still has unfinished business elsewhere. I think Naomi's winning this.
I would feel bad if Naomi lost because she just won the title. And I feel like she's been doing such good work. She doesn't deserve to just lose like that. That can be kind of messed up, I think. So I'm with you.
Yeah,
Naomi
I
for
agree.
the W. All right, last but not least, the street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Does Cody Rhodes get back his title? Yes or no?
I do think that he does. I think that he does. And again, I'm very interested in what happens after.
Okay, what do you want to happen afterwards? What's the ideal Sean Ross Sapp scenario?
I want them to have the best match humanly possible. And then I want Cody to just like offer his hand like a really good baby face and just be like, you're better than this. And John Cena to stare off into the wind and be like, am I better than this? Am I really better than this? And the crowd's going to chant for John Cena and they're going to cheer him. And he's going to be like, yeah, I am. And then we might get some redemption there.
I don't even know what my dream scenario is here. I just don't want it to be painful the way that it was at WrestleMania. That's all. I don't ask for much. I just want something that doesn't have me going, what is happening right now? I don't want no Travis Scott. I'm sorry. Call me a hater. That's fine. I don't want Travis Scott involved in this. And if he does, please, for the love of God, run down that damn ramp. And I just want the match to be good. I know we're going to be expecting a zillion people in this since this is a street fight. So we probably are going to be seeing Travis. I don't know. I just want this to be better than WrestleMania. I don't have any actual expectations other than that. And I hope that SummerSlam as a whole is better than WrestleMania too. That's where I'm at with that.
Yes.
And then, wait, I'm sorry. Did you end up going with John Cena or Cody?
Cody.
All right. I'll go with Cody too. I'm not sold yet on John winning, so I'm gonna have to go with Cody as well. Alrighty, guys, before we wrap things up, we actually got a very generous super chat from Matt B6369. Matt, thank you so much, dude. He says, stopping by for a bit. Thanks for your insight into this historical SummerSlam to come, Denise. We're hoping Dom will do a special homage to Eddie for the 20th anniversary. Oh, I didn't even think about that. But that would be really freaking cool if we did actually. Oh my God, one of my favorite matches of all time. Spoiler alert, it made it onto my top 10 favorite SummerSlam matches of all time. So if we did see some sort of homage for Eddie for the 20th anniversary, I would be so incredibly happy to see that. And you never know, he might.
I love that. They actually showed a little clip of that on Unreal, of the feud, rather. But, my God, 20 years.
Isn't that wild?
So old now. I feel so old.
And your birthday's coming up, Sean.
I remember downloading that show like off of a P2P service the next morning. Like, I illegally downloaded SummerSlam on my computer and watched it.
Damn, we're gonna send you to jail, bro. After you get jacked
Probably.
in New York, you're gonna get sent to jail.
Listen, more people pirate my stuff than I ever pirated anybody else's stuff.
You know what? You're like wrestling LimeWire. They
There you
just
go.
pirate all your things. That's so funny. Matt, thank you so much for the super chat, for the generosity, and I hope you have an incredible time watching SummerSlam. Seriously, thank you. And I'm so glad that you reminded me of the 20-year anniversary, because I think that's just super, super awesome. Such an awesome match and an awesome memory to look back at. Thank you, Matt. We got Tracy here who says, I want Solo to win, and it's why I bet $50 that he will. Don't get me wrong. Love your AI husband, but Solo needs this. Hey, Sean, did you know that Jacob Fatu is my AI husband?
I did not.
Okay, so welcome to DWO lore. Let me tell you the quick story. Remember when I interviewed Fatu, like way before he got signed with WWE, and he talked about having 7 kids and all of this stuff? Freaking AI, someone sent me a screenshot saying that they searched for Jacob Fatu's wife, and it said Denise Salcedo is Jacob Fatu's wife, according to AI. So AI just like mixed the words of my interview with Jacob and just decided to say, oh, she's the AI wife. So now he's my AI husband. Welcome to the Denise lore.
Somebody showed me a thing that they were like, who is Sean Ross Sapp's wife? And it said a wrestler, a women's wrestler who I had never met before.
Oh, you didn't even know who it was? Oh, wow.
No, I knew who it was. I was friends with them, but like, no, absolutely not.
That's funny. All right. Thank you so much, Tracy. All right, guys. With that being said, that is our show. Before we wrap things up, Sean, where can the people find you and support you?
Fightful and FightfulSelect.com.
All righty, easy peasy. As for me, if you're already here, click that subscribe button, okay? I know a lot of you guys watch but haven't subscribed yet. So even if you're a ghost viewer, subscribe, and then go to Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of the things at _Denise Salcedo. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're listening on the audio or watching here on YouTube, please do not forget to search up Instinct Culture by Denise Salcedo on Apple Pods and give some love on there as well. Thank you, everybody, and we'll catch you in a few hours for AEW Dynamite coverage. Bye, everyone.